Okay, so you gave me an idea. I've been thinking about what all I should do for showing my construction process, and a lot of things I have like decided, okay, that would be boring to show, so I'm just gonna skip over that. But since the idea of a documentary was brought up, then I'll just go ahead and let you see whatever it is I'm working on. After I drink this tea, here comes Mr. Tiny. He's heard me talking. You want to see what it looks like, what he does? Watch him. There he goes. So, this is a piece of drywall. Or sheetrock, whichever you want to call it. Move it, Chico, out! And I'm drinking some cinnamon tea right now. And I'll show you what I'm doing. I can get that up there. Okay, so you see that plywood up there with all those screws on the side? It has all those screws because I was trying to get it to flatten down. And that happens sometimes. That happened over there where the seams aren't lining up all the way. It'll like, a lot of times the seams will, when you put the two, quit Pippi, when you put the two pieces of plywood side by side, then it's like, okay, the wall must not be flat as I think, or the studs aren't perfectly flat, or the plywood's not perfectly flat. I don't know what it is, but I have to find some way to sand that down as smooth as I can and put trim over it or whatever it is that's going to make me feel better about it. So, quit that, Pippi. No, sir. No, sir. Okay. No, okay. Go on, y'all. So, if you want to see me do some boring work and explain some boring work, then I'll do that. We'll make that our exercise. As far as my feelings in my boobs, quitting taking the probiotic, I think, solved the swelling because it's already gone down drastically. So that's my theory based on some information I received and also what I read about it. It said that a probiotic, and that's why I'm drinking cinnamon tea actually, that cinnamon tea is supposed to get bacteria out of your body. So based on my understanding of a probiotic, it has something to do with lactose, which is the kind of stuff that's in your boobs. And so me having just had surgery, I do not need to be taking a probiotic and let that get into this area. And also what was I going to say? The other thing that I read was that you don't want that bacteria to get into your bloodstream either. So, I'm taking that as a method to help myself. Quit. Boys, y'all go on. Okay? No. It's not dog video. That's not what we're doing. So, let me put this aside. Okay. And I'll show you what it looks like for me to carve or chisel wood. Alright. And who knows what we'll be able to come up with as far as thinking about what we can do using these things to add, feeling. That's one thing that I've thought about a lot. There's so much that we've put into the house construction that totally made it a lot more fulfilling work, because there are some things that you can get into that get really tedious, and when you add that emotional depth or love or whatever you're thinking about, psychological concepts for self-improvement or to save the world, or come up with therapeutic programs, whatever you put your mind at, you can spice things up, sweeten things up, make things more satisfying when you get into some area when you're like, my two things that I am not fond of are sanding and trying to smooth things down. I like working with tools a lot, and painting is somewhat enjoyable to me, but I do not like sanding at all because of dust. And I don't really like having to mess around with sheetrock because of dust. It's the dust factor. Okay. But anyway. Here we go. Where's my chisel at? Right here? Okay. So, you can see me. So, if I try to, I'm going to take a sander over this afterwards, but it's just using the chisel is a lot less. It's going to prevent me from having to get a lot of dust in here. And I like that idea going with Rin's song, Take the Chisel to the Middle. I got really excited about that whenever he made that song a long time ago. And I didn't like that people would say that he looked jacked whenever his muscles could be seen. I prefer the word he's chiseled. So, that's my personal preference. Okay. And that's like one of my goals in life have been a lot based on trying to make chores and labor and things like that more pleasurable. I think there's so much opportunity to change the way where work is like so humdrum by using your imagination to do sort of make it about something else or incorporate it into something else that gets you excited about the future, gets you excited about your relationships, gets you excited about creating a better world or whatever. That really makes a difference. It really does. So, you tell me if you think it's like something that you're like, oh, I could be doing something else and watching her chisel wood off a wall. That's how I might feel if I was trying to watch somebody do that, unless it was somebody that I cared for. I would probably enjoy it. But I think that it's really good that we build. I like the idea of us having the keeps going dark on the screen. I really like the idea of us having the bridge idea, going back and forth. I was thinking about it the other day about what this process has felt like, and it reminds me of when I was a child playing dominoes, and like it's like you throw in all these ideas into the bone pile when you run out of ideas, and it's just up for grabs. That's kind of like how your mind feels. There's just certain things that stand out that you can build off of and work with after listening and getting involved in what each other's doing, and it's like it just feels so good. And I think I like both of those just kind of descriptions of what it feels like. I guess I like the bone pile in Domino's idea better. It's like, okay, we've grabbed something out of the pile, but we need these pieces to go together in some way once we grab out our separate pieces that we can use. So what I was thinking about trying before I just decided on a regular chisel was to get like a tree bark shaver, so just like scrape it all the way down. But it was cheaper to do it this way, and I'm not sure if a tree bark shaver would be the best idea for this little area anyways. See, I'm gonna have to keep coming down here. Now, I'm not gonna make any video that goes longer than 30 minutes probably for this. Or we'll do that one at a time, or we'll just see how long it takes. But it's getting there, man. It's getting there. It is getting there. I'm real excited about one that I have in mind video about what I'm going to do in this area over here to build the pantry. But I'm going to show you my side of the equation instead of just posting what it looks like after finishing. So this thing, it's like a very large file. I'll show you what it's called. It is the Jorgensen, and it's called a rasp plane. That's what it is. So let's see what it does. See, I quit using it because it was taking out some material over here, which I didn't want sanded down. So if let me get it the right way. I do that. It kind of reminds me of a cheese grater is what it seems like. I don't really like the way that's working. A sander would probably work better. Ouch. Yeah. And it kind of is turning the wood black a little bit. So what we're gonna have here, I'm gonna put a metal steel peg up here and down here. And after I thought about that, with what color I chose a granite colored. I think I'd rather have the top one painted green. So I'm gonna get some metal green paint, and then I want the one inside of here to be red, like red for blood, green for growth. We're thinking about the family idea still. So I'll just paint them. Red was an option, but I didn't think about that at first. I was like, I don't know if red is going to go with my colors here. And now I've decided that I do want red. So, let me get a sander after that, and I'll show you what it looks like when I sand, and we'll call it enough for right now, and I'll show you some of the other things that I do day by day, and you can get to know me watching these things. Okay, so my vacuum is right there. Now I'm gonna have to turn on these fans again. I'm going to do that for filtering the air. And let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Rin says he's not bored. He's not bored. Okay, so what we're gonna do, here's my sander. Okay, I made this vacuum hose idea off of that. This is like because I couldn't figure out how to fit my vacuum hose on this thing because it wasn't the same size, so I made one that fit. It works. This is a drain pipe hose that I use with clamps to attach that on there so it would fit. And when you start messing around in different areas like plumbing and vacuums and all kinds of stuff, this is 60 grade sandpaper. All the stuff you start it feels. I described it when I first got into construction. It's like your mind just starts. It comes up with ideas that you don't have to look it up on the internet. You just look around at a box of stuff, and you can all of a sudden just think of ways that you can do stuff without having to go get specific things because of shopping. You're smart enough to come up with your own methods. We're or we're smart enough. I have a theory that I'm smarter because of Ren somehow. I don't know how that works, because it's like, I know I wasn't like, never. I get surprised about how I can do things sometimes that I haven't done before, and I guess that's what I'm trying to describe. It's like, is it really me that's able to do that, or am I having some kind of help from the, Okay, so we have this attached to our vacuum. All right, now, here we go. So there's what you get today. I can tell you what I have planned in mind for this. I chose this one partially because this, you can see over here, this is a regular 3/4 inch piece of plywood. That's its thickness. This is how thick our smart siding is. Well, as you can see, the kitchen is not that big, so I wanted the thinner plywood in here, and plus this material that's here on the outside of it, I thought would be a good kitchen material. But what I have is, and let me just show you what it is, because I've been thinking about how I could actually use this stuff, because I've just stored it in here. So of course I'll do the same paint color, my turquoise variations, which I do. Here it is. Let's see. Yeah, I think I have a few of these left over here. Now here's a preview of what I'll be using to get some studs into the ground, and this thing is powerful. Okay, so it's a ram set. So that's my only gun that I own. It's a nail gun. Okay, we use that to get our pressure treated wood into the concrete, and it has it uses these little bullets. I'll show you whenever I do it. Okay, so with the paint, this adds texture to your paint. It's called sand Rolatex. Okay, so I want to use those to mix with my paint for the kitchen, because I want to add texture and some other things. I don't know if I'll add some extra plaster to the walls to make it look pretty neat, but I do have this other stuff that I also haven't used yet, which I wanted to experiment. It's called plaster of Paris. Okay, you mix this and you can come up with wall texture. So that's another thing that I am considering doing when I get to the kitchen. We're not doing that in the pantry room. So I think I've given you a lot of information today. I'm going to get back into my tediousness, and I will continue to let you be involved in what I'm doing. Okay.